We got news that USC and Notre Dame will renew their rivalry beginning 2030. Let's talk about the implications of USC Notre Dame playing a non-conference game and what this means for college football and why I think this is such a cool outcome to what we thought was going to be the end of a rivalry for some time after the bumper. What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. If this is your first time watching Adapt and Respond, thank you for joining us here. We talk college football year-round. If you're into that, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like this video, answer the question in the comments below. How excited are you for, the return of USC and Notre Dame to the college football calendar beginning in 2030. This is a game that holds a special place in the history of the sport. It is not as big as it could be or has been in the past, but it is a way in which we kind of mark the calendar along with Ohio State, Michigan, Texas versus Texas A&M, the Iron Bowl, Alabama versus Auburn, Georgia versus Florida. I mean, we can keep going. Rivalry games are the marrow in the bones of the sport that we love, and I'm so glad that we have a contract, or at least the idea of a contract, because contracts get broken, between USC and Notre Dame that will allow us to at least see this game played, and week 1 of 2030 and week 1 of 2031. This game returns, it would be 3 years after both of them just decided this year they don't want to do it. USC wanted to move the date. Notre Dame didn't want to agree to move the date, and they both ended up scheduling. Well, in the case of USC, someone we don't really want to see them play. And in the case of Notre Dame, it's BYU. That could be fun, right? I expect that will be fun. BYU versus Notre Dame, Catholics versus Mormons. It has enough going on right now to be a very cool game. It also will feature a BYU team that we think will be pretty damn good, and a Notre Dame team that expects to contend for the national championship. That's no secret. Notre Dame is loaded for bear this season. If you don't know what that term is, or what it's meant to say, you don't bring a sidearm to go hunt bear. You don't bring a rifle to go hunt bear. You're just going to piss the bear off. You bring something big and nasty, because that bear is big and nasty. And the bear that they are trying to hunt is a national championship. Notre Dame has not won a share of a national championship in more than 30 years, coming up on almost 40 years. That could happen during the length of this contract. They're playing 4 times. First time is going to be at the Coliseum at USC, and then they're going to go to Notre Dame Stadium and play. And I really want to dig into what I expect college football might look like when this game comes back online. But first, I want to talk about our new sponsor to the show, Kalshi. Before the season even kicks off, everyone's making predictions. Who will win the national championship game? Who makes the college football playoff? Who's lifting the national championship trophy this season? On Kalshi, America's #1 prediction market platform, you can trade those predictions in a live market. One way you could do this is taking on the question of, will Indiana qualify for the Big Ten championship game this season? Right now, Indiana is trading at 44%, meaning a $100 trade would pay out $127.27 if they clinch a Big Ten title game spot. On Kalshi, you're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there's no house. And as the probability changes, you can buy in and out of your position. Trade the draft pick, or trade the game, or more on Kalshi. For a limited time, download Kalshi's app and use the code RJ, that's capital letters R and J, to get up to $500 in bonus credits when you trade $25. KALSHI. Kalshi. Trade on anything. 18 plus only. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Even event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Kalshi products are not available in all jurisdictions. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, see kalshi.com/regulatory period. Now, I think the way in which college football might change before and after Notre Dame and USC renew their rivalry is a 2014 playoff is likely to be online by then. We've had so much momentum and so much talk about what that could be. And I genuinely believe that by the time we get to 2030, we're going to be playing 24 teams in a playoff. I'm not quite sure what the format is going to look like because it's kind of changed since they first started kicking this around. There were automatic qualifiers. Now Tony Petitti and the Big Ten have said, hey, we're off automatic qualifiers. We're about trying to get the 2014 playoff off the ground and the best teams in the playoff, which could lead to more Big Ten and SEC teams being invited to play. Notre Dame already has a memorandum of understanding with the College Football Playoff Board of Managers that would allow it into the 12-team playoff this year if it's ranked inside the top 12, which means that a team like James Madison or Tulane that might have qualified for one of those G6 spots might be out the door, among other things, right? Because what drove a lot of people crazy last year isn't necessarily that Notre Dame didn't get in. It's that Tulane and James Madison did. Notre Dame being in one of those spots makes for a better college football playoff. More people will watch it. More people care about it. And Notre Dame is a much more competitive team than either Tulane or James Madison. I think that part is objective. I even think that Bob Chesney and John Summerall, given Truth Serum, would say the same thing. Marcus Freeman has been building toward winning the national championship right now, but USC and Lincoln Riley have been trying to get into the playoff. And it's really difficult in the Big Ten to do that. One of the ways you can get more Big Ten teams in is by extending it. So this game being played week 1 might not have the same sort of implications then 2030 as it would today 2026 because the field would be twice the size and a loss might not hinder you or hurt you as much getting in the way that, say, Texas losing to Ohio State last year didn't help their cause. I still think that losing to 3-9 Florida did them in, but in a 2014 playoff, they probably still get in. And I think that's where we're going with all of this. So knowing that USC and Notre Dame are going to play again is cool. Also means that we can look toward the future and we can start to begin to understand why a game like this, A, gets back on the schedule, and B, isn't going to keep either one of those teams necessarily out of the college football playoff. You can get a 9-win team in there. You can get the 5th best team in the SEC or the Big Ten in there. And you can fit in an independent like Notre Dame. I think all of that is good for the sport.